Before the ICC World Cup had even gotten underway, there had been a little bit of unfortunate acrimony that came up between the Indian and Pakistani side as far as the support was concerned and even as far as the logistics were confirmed. You'd remember we had reported a story whereby it had said that the Pakistan team had not received their visas on time. However, in a little while the matter was resolved, and the Pakistan team, it is worth noting, you can know here, this is a exclusive bit of information, let's say, that their flight, which will be of course a connecting flight, they will be leaving Pakistan at around 3:30 a.m. on Wednesday morning. That means the early hours of Wednesday morning they'll be leaving, and they will then be reaching India at around 8 o'clock at night. So it's obviously not a direct flight. There is a layover, and there's a significant amount of layover time that will be taking place in Dubai. However, before that flight, the Pakistan team did end up holding a press conference, one that included or was fronted by Pakistan skipper Babar Azam, and he did address a few interesting topics. And in this video, what we'll do is we'll take a look at some of those more interesting ones and analyze what exactly it is that he said. First off, he was obviously quizzed about fan support and how is it that Pakistan would cope, given that it would be a little difficult for a lot of Pakistani fans to make it across the border due to the fact that, political tensions are such between the two countries that getting a visa, if you're a Pakistan citizen for India or vice versa, if you're an Indian citizen getting one for Pakistan, is a very, very long, arduous and very much an impossible task at times. So this is what he had to say when asked about, the fan presence or lack thereof. He said, "We'll surely miss our fans, but all our games in India are sold out. So hoping for support from the Indian fans that will come to watch our games. Indian fans have been very supportive of Pakistan teams in the past, and this time will be no different, I am sure." That is a very interesting way of looking at things, especially when you look at the amount of acrimony now that accompanies an India versus Pakistan game. Now, whilst he's not exactly wrong in saying that, yes, in the past, let's say when Pakistan teams have come over, yes, there's been sporting rivalry, but more often than not, when you look at how it is that the fans interact, then generally there's been a lot of respect, a lot of mutual respect, and it's been hard but fair. However, in recent times, I think it's safe to say that that undertone has changed a lot, especially when you consider just how much political tensions exist between the two nations. So whilst it's good of Babar in one way is to hope that he'll get some Indian support, I'm not so sure that that is of course a wish that will be granted. Not that it matters too much to them, because whilst he's saying that he is hopeful that these fans, the Indian fans, will show them some respect, some support, well, he did also say very clearly that they'll be hearing the voices of their fans from across the border as well. In fact, he said that meanwhile, our fans will be sending their wishes through social media and other avenues, and that will be enough to motivate us. Now, obviously, if you're looking at, let's say, fan support, you always want to be knowing how it is that your fans, let's say, are reacting, or how much passionate support they're giving your team. That's always something that is very motivating to an athlete. And in today's day and age, of course, you do have avenues like social media whereby, let's say that players are very much in tune or in touch with the fan sentiment that exists around their team. So they do know, and they are at the very least aware, no matter what they say. Trust me when I say they know what's going on social media. So that is of course a good way for them to know how it is that their fans are feeling, and as he says, they'll draw their motivation from there. Of course, if you're an elite level sportsman, even if you don't have the crowd on your side, that too can sometimes be a little bit of an advantage. But it's one thing not having the opposition crowds by your side, it's quite the other if you're having issues, allegedly so, with your teammates. And after Pakistan ended up losing that rather close game in the Asia Cup, which was of course a virtual knockout, virtual semi-final between them and Sri Lanka, which they ended up losing, there were plenty of huge media reports doing the rounds that there was a bit of a disagreement between this man Babar and Shaheen Shah Afridi. Now, obviously, he has addressed that because a lot of people directly asked him about it, and the answer he gave, well, it's somewhat along expected lines. He said that whenever a team loses a close match, there are always disagreements and things are said in the team meeting, but it wasn't a fight between me and Shaheen as was being reported. we still have love and respect for each other like family members. Now, normally speaking, again, this is something that you look at, you'll analyze and say, yeah, you know what, this is exactly what he is expected to say. This is exactly what he would say under any circumstances. It's not new for teammates to have disagreements. That in itself is a tale as old as time, ever since, in fact, really organized team sport has been a thing. But it is also worth noting that last slide races that we still have respect and love for each other like family members. Well, recently there were plenty of videos doing the rounds wherein Shaheen Shah Afridi and Babar Azam were seen hanging out together, and it was in fact a very formal, it was a very casual setting, and they were photographed together, they were laughing, having a good time. So even though what he said here is pretty much along expected lines, there's no reason to actually doubt or disagree with what it is that he's saying, because as he said, disagreements are bound to happen in team meetings. That's pretty much the point of a team meeting. It's not for it to pull one way or to gloss over any cracks, but that doesn't mean that we don't have love and respect for one another. And that's his take, of course. But enough about what he said. What do you guys think about Pakistan's chances? Do you think, let's say that as Babar hoped, the Indian fans might show them a bit of love and respect? Or do you think that they'll be getting in for some very rough treatment when they're playing? And also, what do you think about the whole Babar Shaheen incident? Has it been blown out of proportion, or is there some fire, let's say, to all the smoke that has been generated? You can let us know that in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon as well so you know when we're going live or uploading a new video for you guys. Then you can go ahead and follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook as well. And last but not least, don't forget to download the AajTak app. Plus, if you're already on the channel, go ahead, check out some interesting updates that we've given you throughout the day from the world of sport. But for now, from my side, it's goodbye.